I am a solutions engineer. I live locally here in London despite the American accent. And I am a former client, like some of you in the room. So, once upon a time, I went to a conference, and one of the most helpful sessions that I had was the session where the presenter didn't show up. Granted, it wasn't an Instructure conference, so hopefully you're getting more out of the other sessions too. But I thought it might be nice as a K-12 community and as an Instructure community and educating community to just allow us to talk about some of the issues and brainstorm, since this is a smaller room and we can't really do it in those massive ones. So in that other session that I had, when the person didn't show up, we all just said, well, we're all here for this issue. Let's talk about it and figure it out. So I thought I have some prompts, just in case none of you are very vocal. I doubt that, because we're all here. But also, if the Wi-Fi's been working out for you and you want to, you can go to this address and just post in thoughts. It says question answer, but if you have ideas about the topics and you're scared about saying it out loud for whatever reason, or want to say, hey, why don't we talk about this? You can go to that, like right now on your phone, and type in a thought or a question. But pretty much the reason we're here is to talk about student success. So these were some of the prompts and questions that I thought we might want to talk about. I'm also happy to show you anything in Canvas if we need to for whatever reason. But does that look like a good starter list? For the people in the back, it's just talking about student success and what you're doing in Canvas. Maybe some talk about some mobile devices, creating, sharing, what third-party tools you're using. It's a small room. Forget about it then. Let's just talk, and I'll repeat the questions for the recording, and then we'll just talk. It's small enough, right? Is everybody okay with that? Cool. Okay. Be vocal, friends. So, student success in Canvas. What are you doing? How are you using Canvas to help support student success? What I would like to do before I call on you is, if you can introduce yourself, say who you are and what type of organization or who you are in that organization. So, hey, I'm here, I'm from an FE college. Hey, I'm here, I'm from a small school of 3-year-olds. I don't know. So go ahead, person in the back.
I'm Lee Wilcock. I'm principal of Wolsey Hall, Oxford. We're a strange kind of beast in a way. We were the first organisation to use Canvas outside of the US, and we were also the first organisation to use Canvas for K-12. But why we're a strange beast is that we don't have any classrooms at all. So we haven't flipped the classroom, we just don't have any classrooms at all. We currently have over 2,000 students in 90 countries across the world, but what we do is provide educational access to those children who can't access education for whatever reason. So there may be, because the parents travel around the world, or there may be elite athletes who need the flexibility of a training schedule. Increasingly, and sadly, we get a lot of kids who have been taken out of traditional school because of bullying or because of social phobia or whatever. So one of the things that I would like Canvas to look at seriously is we've separated out the student progress, the pastoral role from the academic role, so that our tutors can focus on the academic and our student progress managers focus on the pastoral role. What we haven't got in Canvas, and which I've been kind of going on about this for about 4 years now, we haven't got a student-centric view of progress across courses, in other words, a program view. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be so important, for schools to have that. Schools in the UK, I think there's a difference in view between the UK and that we see the need for this kind of pastoral role across courses, and in the US, where it's a different system, it doesn't seem to be viewed as important. But I just want to raise that as an issue for you to take back as a solutions engineer, to take back as a kind of takeaway that for the K-12 in this country, it's very important that we have that ability to have that kind of pastoral view.
I appreciate that. Thank you. So in summary, that's just fully online program, K-12 program, where the students are usually from a distance of varying needs, actually much like the K-12 program I came from. It was a fully online school for exactly the same things you said. Competitive sports, traveling parents, disability, you name it. And the need for a pastoral or counselor-like coach role that can overview and see those things.
Because at the moment, there's no way to do that. You've got to go into each individual course to see the grades, and so our students, we need to have a kind of an overview of.
It makes sense. It makes sense. Are there any people who are doing things successfully around some of this stuff? Or have another story to share about what successes that they have had in using Canvas to support student success?
I mean, sorry, lost on it. Canvas has been great for us. I mean, I don't want to kind of start with the negative. It has been tremendously good for us. And I've been an advocate of Canvas. It's worked tremendously well. It works extremely well. Anybody thinking of adopting Canvas, I would wholeheartedly recommend it. I've been using it for 5 years. It's great.
That's awesome. That's awesome. No worries. Feedback is good. Feedback is good too. We can't get better without that kind of feedback. I will let you know that that is something that we do here around the globe. It's in niche forms, but I was you before, and I had the same kind of experience. One of the ways that we got around that was actually creating a counselor forum inside of Canvas, so that there was a course that the counselors had. We called it a counselor role instead of a pastoral role. And any students aligned with that person needing coaching or whatever had that room. So that way that counselor could still ask for things like, hey, set up an appointment with me. Hey, do these different things with me. Granted, they still did have a little bit of administration rights where they had to go and check on students' grades, but they did also have that forum and that room to be able to communicate with students from a distance through Canvas and be able to discuss those things, whether it be the overall analytics or the individual view of the students' grades and performance, or whether it be something that's more around the school and just like dealing with their personal issues, things like that. Any other people? What other cool things are you doing? Come on, cool stuff.
Can I ask a question to your question?
Sure.
Is anybody using Canvas in an openness both to yourself and to everybody else in primary schools? And have anybody had success doing that? Anything that we could learn?
Anyone using it in primary schools? Young kidlets?
We've also got some of our primary teachers using it, and I think I'd love to see the ability to sort of change the appearance of the course and maybe some themes that you can actually put into a course to make it much more attractive and user-friendly. It's still got a very, very FE, HE feel. We found that just giving students a list of modules is not good even for, 16, 18-year-olds. So we're building pages which have front ends on, they have menus on, but they're quite difficult for teachers to use, because they involve making links to other pages and so on. So it'd be great to see some tools within Canvas that enable teachers to kind of take existing pages, existing resources, the objects within a course, and actually build them together, package them together into something that kind of looks nice and has a sort of coherent navigation, and that would be great, But yeah, we do have some teachers have been using it with primary, and I think they just need to be very focused on what do I want to use it for, and just it's the design of the learning activities within that, I think.
One thing that I've found, and we're talking now about primary schools and using it in primary schools and how design elements could improve for younger audiences as well as teachers to build content quicker and easier. One of the things that I found is that the younger you get, the more it ends up being a parent portal rather than a student portal. Are you guys, okay, you're finding this kind of thing too. So yes, what is it that you want to use it for? And sometimes along with the parent app, have any of you guys been able to use the parent app before on your mobile device? Give it a try, because a lot of times what the students need and the parents need to know are just reminders about, hey, Johnny's got homework. Hey, Susie's got homework. So even when you're with your year threes and just having a teacher put nothing but their calendar, their schedule of there's a field trip on this day, there is a test on the other day, even if the test isn't in Canvas. using those kind of elements, even if the intent isn't for the student to see those things. And then you can move from there to what those resources might be. Another thing that was helpful for me in thinking both of the dual audiences for primary school students is some of those things can be more organized and just changing the front homepage to this is the only thing that you need to know, this is the only thing you need to look at ever. And yes, themes aside, just that sort of process of switching things out. Whereas the other pages, whether it comes to modules or something else, that might be where your parents end up going for more information and resources to help their students.
One of the things that you can do, I mean, we offer the courses to primary as well. In pages, if you go to the pages format, you can hide the menu down the side and go to an icon-based approach. So you can bring in design elements and have kind of clickable icons, and that way there is, Canvas is limited to a certain degree on how you can change the themes. But if you've got someone who's reasonably technologically literate, you can get some quite nice icon-based systems going. So you're clicking on icons rather than go down a menu. So there are ways to do it, I think.
I agree with you too. It may not be as intuitive initially, but then once you think about, again, your purposes, you might also, as administrators in the room, those of you who might be the ones who are doing some of that design work for your teachers, look at blueprint courses and look at Commons to be able to share some of those already predefined templates. So Blueprint Courses allows you to distribute content, push it down automatically into people's courses. And then Commons allows you to share them so that they can go and choose and pull the content in. So even if that's just a page that has a bunch of buttons on it, and then the teacher can link those buttons up to where they need it to go, that might actually be helpful. In the back there.
Where's the best place to start when looking at designs and layouts and templates and things? Where can we get inspiration from?
Where can you get inspiration for design and templates and best practices and all sorts of stuff? I'm going to open that one to the rest of the room of educators. I will say our community does have a design and instructional design group in our community. So that's one place that I know that you might be able to also have more resources and ping around. Anyone else? Any suggestions?
Root around in Commons and just take courses and have a look at them and see what they look like to you. Because there's some really good courses in Commons. Might not be the subject you want,
Can we
but
see
just the way that they
something that's
other
good.
other ways people build courses.
Yeah.
Oh, we can definitely go to Commons. So one of the suggestions is going to Commons and seeing something. How many of you guys have been to Commons? Know what Commons is? All right, yeah. So I'm logged into Canvas right now. I am a teacher. Here's some things in Commons. Now, just so you know, some people do have the show public resources turned off. So you may want to turn that on for yourselves to just go and check things out and look at things. So this is Commons. Commons has the full courses area. So maybe looking at full courses, maybe some modules or maybe pages. Any other ideas? Where do you get ideas for good instructional design practices? I know we also have some partners who specifically do training and teaching around instructional design, and then there are other partners that segment it down to instructional design for young learners, instructional design for FE-based.
I'm not a designer, I think. I'm just a teacher. But the ideas that I get from Khan Academy, for example, is interesting. The way they've done it, the way they blocked it when they're teaching kids how to do stuff. So that was my first, a glimpse of how you can do that online with the kids, and the kids like it.
Cool. So embedding partners in Khan Academy and things like that inside of Canvas and using that.
But of course, in Khan Academy, I can't edit. This I can, which is better. So that's why.
And you could have the best of both worlds too. You could put your Khan Academy video in and say, P.S. this is what you want about it. Or
videos so far, not the exercises themselves, the exercises.
I'm not sure, to be honest. It's been a while since I played with it. Okay, go ahead in the back.
I found quite a lot of inspiration from going on to CanvasNet and looking at some of the small MOOCs that way, because they've spent a lot more time developing those, and they do get an approval system. And you can actually take the inspiration from some of those.
And I would also say, I think that's a great idea. I'm going to copy that idea. But I also think in the community, not only do they have instructional design areas, they have a whole elementary or K6 or even K3 sections that I think people are super, super open to sharing their own courses. So I would advise people to go there as well, because that's specifically from educators across the world looking at primary schools.
Where was that at?
There's a K in the community.
In the community.
Yeah.
And I'll add one more really quite useful site for design in general called Visme. Have you heard of Visme?
I have not heard of Visme. How do you spell Visme?
Visme. And they have a lot of instructional videos to show you what works on colour and how colours work together and design. And they've got some fantastic resources. I'm partly design based, so I looked at this is a perfect resource. So again, if you're trying to look for ideas and inspiration.
Is that .co.uk? Visme.co.uk?
No, it's US.
It is? Okay. Very cool, very cool. And then there's things like Canva, not Canvas, but Canva, or Button Builder, or even things like going into PowerPoint and just after you put your little arrows, doing a screenshot and uploading it. There are other partners that we have that also make those tools better available inside Canvas via an LTI tool. So there are some things I would encourage you to go to our community, as well as talk to your CSMs. They might be able to help connect you. And since you guys are all here, take a minute to network and swap each other's email addresses and stuff like that. If you're looking for primary things, partner up. That's what things like Commons are for. You can form a consortium in Commons to share your templates across with each other. You had a point or a thought before.
Yeah, first question. Yeah, just something that we've had a lot of success with in Rugby College, just a secondary school, is the quiz statistics and how useful that has been. We've got them to complete a 30-minute quiz. We've then shared the statistics with the students in class, and then it's enabled us to plan together the next lesson based on the weaknesses that we see amongst the class. And it's been so useful just to be open with them, and they are more aware of where they're at, especially with feedback from the speed grader as well. And all of that combination, a few of our departments have actually linked Canvas with improvements in grade in the summer results, so it's been really successful.
So that's really cool. So a success using quiz analytics both with teachers across the board as well as with students. Do you share and show things with students?
Students, so in class they complete it, they see their feedback straight away, because it's if you're doing closed questions, and then with the statistics they like seeing how well they've done as a class as well.
Have you guys all seen and used quiz statistics? Do you know what he's talking about? Some people do, some people don't. So just to show you where it is, on any quiz, on the right-hand side, you have these quiz statistics. And you can click on that and get a report. This could definitely be very easily a blended activity where you might have, I'm not sure how many of you have BYOD or one-to-one devices, but you could, in a classroom, ask a quiz question that has 3 questions just to see if did they do the homework, did they understand the reading, did they do this, that, or the other, and then put this up on the screen and be like, oh, looks like a couple of you don't understand this thing. Looks like a few of you are, okay, we're going to go over this right now in class. Or maybe even use this to spawn groups to say, all right, let's put you guys in a group over here and you guys in a group over here, or put those in a group in Canvas so that they can work together on things. So yeah, this is quiz statistics. Any other cool successes or questions for each other? Go ahead.
We've been using the video conferencing facility within it to capture some online some students' video and so forth, and that's been quite useful, especially at A-level, for students to then go back. I missed this session, it's a really important topic, and you can go and watch the video to catch up. And it's also made a difference for the students who are borderline between grades to try and push themselves to get to that level. The only snag right now is that the built-in video conferencing inside Canvas doesn't work on iPads, so they can only view it if they're on a PC, which is a real shame. And I know it's coming, but it can't come too soon. It will be a big, big game changer when it is to have that on any device.
I agree 100%. And we actually have a lot of really cool things about video, using things like Ark and integrating with other recording tools and other video related tools. It's not enough to just have a video recording anymore. So being able to have that interaction using your conferencing tool together, and then using the recordings so that it wasn't one and done, one lecture and then you're over, but being able to review those things over again, that's really cool. That's really cool that that's working for you. And like you did say, yeah, it is coming with mobile access eventually. We're talking about big blue button conferences. But we do also integrate with other conferencing tools. So if you, for whatever reason, Big Blue Button is not entirely meeting your needs, talk to your CSM, and we do integrate with a number of other conferencing tools that you would need a license for, and then they would show up right here in line as well.
I guess, I mean, you're quite right, we could go to yet another third party, but we wanted to use what came with the platform.
Yeah, definitely. You could definitely use it here. It's just for if people want to know, basically. Other cool successes or questions about how are you dealing with this thing for each other? I'm just a facilitator. Go ahead.
We're finding discussions are the biggest thing, because the students really like to engage with each other, particularly out of school. So a good in for a lot of our teachers and students has been discussions, particularly graded discussions, instead of using the assignment tool, because then they can see each other's comments on each other's, and we've got examples where classes have had amazingly deep discussions about English literature and things like that, that have just gone on, and they've really run with discussions.
So discussions is working out really well for you. If you don't mind my asking.
Sorry, you asked who we were, didn't you? Deco and Chris, focused learning just there through schools, and we've got 25 in the UK.
Oh, cool. Lots of schools. The discussions, are you finding that students are using them from their mobile device, and or are you finding that students are likely to include or record themselves using the video elements?
They're not really into recording themselves yet. I think that, but they just like typing. They just like shooting to, you know, they just like having those conversations backwards and forwards and focusing on the work, and teachers are putting all the videos in and things like that, and it's working really well for us. That's great.
So one of the things she said was just it's really helpful to use the video tool, especially for screencasts, so that the teachers can get onboarded and probably students learn how to use those tools. With regards to whether we're going to capture things online, using the media recorder, I'm not sure about the media recorder itself. I do know, however, that our video platform, Ark, which is fully integrated into Canvas, but it is a separate product, that is one of the roadmap items. Along with, if you're not sure what Ark is, come during our networking time, go into our lounge and we can show you and demo you to Ark. But it is completely integrated and they would be recording it. I'm not sure if it will be part of Canvas as the core platform though. Does that answer your question?
Since you're on this page, I was wondering, sometimes we like to show like PDF files directly on a certain page. But is it possible to have like the default page of the PDF already on page 10 rather than on the front page? Because if you have the file, you click on embed directly, can you say like show it from page 10 rather than page 1?
Oh, that's a great question. So the question about showing a particular file from a particular page inside of Canvas. I don't think there is a way to do that, but I like that idea a lot. I could see if that's something that is possible in the future, or if you could come over to our lounge and we can see about the idea on there. There might be a way, of course my only suggestion at the outset is to just show that or condense it down to the one page, but you probably want the whole document.
Because if you have like instructions for like 10 assignments and you want to have one file for it, and then because they sometimes need information from previous assignments, you want to have them like scrolling down, but then when my students are at assignment 7, they need to start at 1 and scroll all the way till 7. Well, I like to have the option to view everything but show only what they.
That's a great idea. Let me see if there's something that we can do about it. I don't think that it's in Canvas at this point.
Find it, so that was why I hope you have the solution.
Sorry, I posted an idea on community as well, similar, where I asked, could we have a feature to import a PDF and each page of a PDF being a separate page
Yeah.
on Canvas, and that's same for PowerPoints, because loads of teachers have got all these, legacy resources, and to just be able to import and auto-generate a page per slide or a page per PDF slide, that would make it a lot easier for them to adopt and convert the content.
Yeah, but then it might be harder if you have, for example, code that you're having there, and then pictures and things. So
Yeah.
So let's go over here real quick.
Just a quick question about how do people deal with a mixture between online hand-ins and paper hand-ins? So say if you set an assignment and you would like students to hand it in whichever way they would want to, is there a way that people are getting around that, or does it still show up as missing in your grade book, or is that something?
I think you can moderate the grade card,
No
you
submission.
can edit manually the scores.
You can.
Yeah.
But even when you say complete, does it still say missing?
I think you can manually override that as well. Yeah, either by saying complete. I think I know what you're talking about, is those little new tags that say missing versus...
Because I'm worried about, some of the new things that Jared was talking about with the to-do list version. It's going to become messy if some students have actually handed in paper assignments compared to... Do you know what I mean?
Yes, instead of pressing on paper, you have it online, but you still allow some to put it in as on paper, so then it feels like it's missing. But I believe the way it is supposed to work is if it's marked and you marked it, then it's not missing anymore. So, and are we about out of time? We're out of time? That was a fast discussion, wasn't it? We're still available in the lounge, and like I said, if you guys found each other helpful, talk to each other real quick. Thank you so much for having such a great discussion. I learned so much from you guys too.